Here we go. All right, and then we have Miss Lindita Martinez on the call.
Hello,
and,
everyone.
yeah, we'll have some fun. All right, let's see who's coming on. Jonathan Miles is on already. Deanne, we got Barbara, we got Austin, we got Miss Deb, we got Fate, we got Grace, we got some people hopping on here right now, having some fun. Text y'all's people, let them know we're getting started. We had a great 180 call on Monday. Yeah, buddy, Jonathan Miles. If y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, you can hit us in the Q&A section so that way we can see them more. Hit us in the Q&A section. If y'all want to chat along, kind of see where you're at with everything. Let's have some fun while we're on here. And if you want to chat, please click on panelists and attendees if possible. So that way everybody can kind of see what you're saying. If you accidentally ask a question there, we'd love to have it. Guys, this is, I know we're going to be doing some, hi. That's good. That's what happens when we go live, Linda. Be ready. So we're going to do some fun stuff. Kevin and myself and Becky and JT had an amazing call today. Been trying, me and now Kevin have played phone tag for the last 2 hours. So this is exciting. That means we're all pretty darn busy, right? Pretty darn busy. So let's go ahead and get started with, Kevin, where do you think we should start today? What's kind of on your mind? Where do you think everybody's at right now?
It's a challenge on these calls because we've got people who are looking at just getting started. We've got people who are on the call, and we've got people who have completed this system. They're coming back to CAR to support and to be part of it. So one thing I think, there's a couple things, Jonas, I think that I'll defer to you if you want to go this route or not. But one, it would be fun to see in the chats people to put in their biggest surprise or aha moment on the system so far and their biggest challenge. We don't talk about the struggles because not everybody gets on and goes day 1 to day 30 with just a bliss, right? People have struggles, and it's nice to hear other struggles. We're not going to focus on the negatives. We're not going to fixate on that. But, we can talk about what's your biggest aha, what's your biggest struggle. The other thing, Jonas, is what we can do as well in that chat is if people have questions, whether they're a coach that are coaching other people or they're people on the program now that have questions, they want to put it in that chat. More as a question and answer, that would be awesome as well. And if people don't chat, we can follow our format of kind of talking about the different phases.
I think let's ask Linda as we get started. Linda, first and foremost, what's your background? Why did you want to do this? And then we'll talk to you, and then I'll ask you some more of the aha questions. But what's your background and why did you want to do 180? Mute.
Oh my gosh.
And Linda, by the way, before we even start talking, the hair tonight, Linda, is looking on point, okay?
I've been having my hair on the top of my head the whole time. COVID hair. I just kept putting it in a ponytail up here.
And now you have the 180 hair because you're looking good, feeling good.
My
bye.
Can't forget
Sorry
that.
about that. Go ahead, Linda.
Okay, so I am a certified holistic health coach. And the reason I did this is because Jonas encouraged me to do this. I felt like I didn't need to lose weight. At the time, I was weighing 126 pounds, but I was a skinny fat. I had visceral fat. And so I actually came in with a little bit of a mindset of going, I'm only doing this so that I know what my clients are going to be going through and I can help them through along the way. What I've gained is, oh my gosh, has been incredible.
And so if you could go through this, what was your biggest aha moment?
I woke up.
I think I know what it is, but I want to know what you say it is.
Okay. So
I have an aha moment for you. That's why.
You what?
I said, I have an aha moment for you, but what was your biggest aha moment?
So day 14, I woke up and I was like, I feel so at peace. I didn't feel rushed. I do my business full time. I am a grandma. I'm a Grammy. And whenever my grandchildren come over, because they come over once a week and spend the night, I'm always like, oh my gosh, I got to make sure that they eat this. And do I have their favorite snacks? And it's like my mind goes like 100 miles an hour. And I remember waking up on the 14th day and saying, I feel so calm. And then I realized how cocky I came into the program going, I already eat like this, but it was challenging. It was doable, but it was challenging. And I realized also that I was not consuming enough fruits and vegetables. I was eating plant-based primarily, but it was not enough. I was not getting the 9 to 12 servings per day.
That's a lot of servings, isn't it?
Yes.
And this protocol allows for all those servings to come in.
Yes, and to find out too, then Jonas had asked me, or when he did my in-body scan a year ago, he's like, where else do we get water from? And I was like, well, yeah, fruits and vegetables, but I didn't realize how hydrating the fruits and vegetables were to the body. So that was, I had many aha moments, but those are the things that I can think of right off the top of my head.
My big one aha moment for you was visceral fat.
Oh yeah. That was in July of 2020 when I stepped on the scale, and Jonas said, Jonas goes, I'm not saying this. The scan is saying this, that you have 21 pounds of fat. And I was like, and I'm sorry, I was very prideful. I was like, I'm a holistic health coach. I eat well and I supplement and I walk every day. And I was like that, right, Jonas? You remember me getting like in the,
I know.
bringing up my chair going, right? So that visceral fat. So, okay, so I lost 7 pounds of visceral fat in 7 months, increasing my exercise, going on a macronutrient diet. But on this 180 program, in 5 weeks, I lost almost 7 pounds of fat. That was a game changer. I was like, how did 7 pounds of fat? It took me 7 months to do it the hard way. Mm-hmm. And I did this, and this program provided 7 pounds of visceral fat. Bye-bye. I won't get too close because, I'm in shorts and everything, but yeah, like all this is gone. I can bend down and I don't feel like I'm out of breath. And I lost 10 pounds in the program. So I'm 117 pounds. I haven't weighed that since I was 24 years old.
Wow. Congratulations. And for everybody, if you just joined, I know a lot of people are coming on right now. If you'd love to hit us in the chat and talk about your aha moment, what did you learn? I know Deb kind of hit us and said, yes, I know, peaceful and confident with calm. What was your aha moment? What day was it? What happened? What did you realize? And I'd love to see this. That way we can celebrate every single one of you. We want to congratulate every single one of you. Now, Linda, talk to us about your biggest challenges.
Other than my husband.
Other than the external challenge, there's a lot of external challenges.
There was a lot of challenges with him, but I guess my biggest challenge is getting past me. I was a little cocky. I was like, I already eat like this. So then this was my Bible and it's frayed, and I still to this day open it up every day and look at it and still find things that I missed. So I think that learning to trust the process was challenging because I'm so used to being in control, and learning that I grazed a lot during the day. And I think just trusting the process, because I kept telling Jonas, no, I don't want to get so skinny that I look like I'm sagging and I'm going to look really old. I think I probably could have lost more weight, but my mindset was like, no, I can't lose that much more. I can't, I don't want to be all skinny, and saggy. And well, I hope I don't look skinny and saggy now, but
you look healthy.
You look fantastic.
Thank you.
So just remember, everybody on this call, what the mind can believe and conceive, it will achieve. So if you say, I can lose more, so don't ever come in here, because I don't like it when we have people that go, oh, I'm not doing this for weight loss. Don't even say that. Just focus on what you're doing it for. I'm doing this for health. I'm doing this for detox. And I want to allow my body to go wherever my body wants to go. Our bodies, 400 million years old in our DNA. It is intuitively smarter than we think we are. We have been programmed by the television, hence the word tell a vision of what they want you to consume, of the marketers that are out there to tell you what you should look like, what you should eat, what you should drink, right? They are marketing to you. They're telling you their vision, the billboards that you drive by, the food that, comes out of the chimneys of these restaurants that you go, that smells good. And you don't even know what it is. You don't even, should I have that? Should I not have that? Right? 5 years from now, we can live a well-designed life if we design it. And if you don't, in 5 years, you will live an undesigned life. I don't know where you're going to end up. We can be well-designed or undesigned. What we are doing with this protocol, what we are doing with Prime My Body is creating a well-designed life. And for those of you medical professionals, wellness professionals, I see some of you on here. Barbara Long, welcome. We have the biggest egos and I don't need that. I know what to do. And y'all saw Jonas nice and bloated in 2020. Why? Because I was being told a vision that the entire world is going to die and collapse. I mean, that's literally what they were saying. Oh, stay away from everybody that you know. Don't get near anybody. Don't even go to the grocery store. So what was Jonas doing? I was ordering out. On the weekends, I had nothing to do. So I'd go get some alcohol, right? The alcohol stores were essential. Interesting. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Jonas, I've got a big giant quart-sized bottle that's filled with Tylenol and ibuprofen, and the label reads "Wellness Professionals." That's my number one headache as a 180 coach, because first of all, they're like, "What's your credentials?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm a general contractor, remodeled bathrooms for a living, created a wellness system you can't explain. That's my credentials," right? And then they want to know, and so. What's interesting, though, is as you see people go through, and that is a true story, by the way, guys. I'm not a wellness professional. My wife is the one who is the nutritional wellness professional, sought nutrition, sought learning, those types of things. But it is. And so, Linda, it's like you. I heard Dr. Darren say that, hey, I got on there to prove that this was not going to work, right? And then remember, Jonas, that call he was on right at the end of the beta group, and he goes, I'm kind of having separation anxiety from my vibe drops, right? And I'm getting back to normal life. I see, Linda, you're shaking your head. Was it a little nerve-wracking to hit the end of the 30 days and know that now you've got to go to a new phase? And in the back of your mind, tell me, did you have this little voice that said, I'm going to gain all my weight back? I'm just going to go back to normal life and it's all just going to go back. Did that happen for you? Or?
Yes, I was afraid that my little bubble that I was in and very secure, and I got used to eating the way I was eating. I was afraid that I was going to start eating too much. And even though my weight was not the issue, like Jonas says, the visceral fat. So yeah, I was afraid to get the visceral fat, not so much the weight. I figured, I know that with muscle mass, and that's something I need to gain, but I did make a post saying, I'm a little nervous. It's almost like getting out in the world again, Although maintenance is so comfortable for me, I love it. I love the first part of maintenance. It's very familiar to me. And now I'm in part 2 of the maintenance. And so that's been interesting. But like I was able to eat some beans the other day and I was like, they taste so good. So I'm savoring all my flavors are just so robust right now. It's just crazy. But I haven't gained not 1 pound. I'm at 117. Yep. And so I'm eating quite a bit. I mean, I'm, getting back to where my calories, the intake where I'm supposed to be at. And I'm enjoying my food for sure.
So thanks for sharing that stuff, by the way. And Jonas, I'll just touch on a couple things that have been popped through here and then bounce back over to you. You talked about how the relationship between food and yourself, hey, I thought I was eating healthy. And as you go through the program, you realize there's these changes you still need to make, right? These adjustments. And I will tell you guys, through all of the people I've coached over the last decade plus, the number one, bar none, health professional, wellness, doctor, nutritionist, person who's just like me, contractor, whatever, almost always people say, I have a better understanding of my relation of my body to food. And many of these people are saying, you know what, I have done dozens of programs and none of them taught me what the 180 system showed me in 30 days. Now, guys, I'll relate my experience. And by the way, thank you guys for hitting up in the text window over here. I've been reading those. your aha moments. And again, a lot of those are centered around you guys understanding about food, being nervous when you're getting ready to start cooking again. Guys, trust the process. Maintenance is just as liberating as the 30-day system. If you do maintenance right, and we'll talk, Jonas, remind me, let's make sure we keep focusing on maintenance, because people are coming off every week into that maintenance. And it's so critical to lock this in so that you're not having to do the 180 again because you failed on maintenance, right? We don't want to do that. You've worked too hard, made too much progress to go back and do that. But so thanks for chatting, and keep putting in the chat, guys. Another thing you can put in that chat window, I love you guys interacting with this, is pop in there real quick and just, where are you at? Are you on loading? Are you getting ready to start? Are you phase 2? You phase 3? And if you're in phase 3, is it the first 3 weeks, second 3 weeks? Let us know. It helps us know on the call. What's that?
And how much weight have they lost while they're on it?
Exactly. Let's brag on yourselves here a little bit. And we just said weight, but maybe weight's not the big thing for you. If it's the emotional thing, then what's your emotional weight that you lost, right? Let's talk about that emotional baggage and how heavy that is, right? So my experience real quick is I was general contract, like I said, and before I did the program, I was walking through the aisles of Home Depot, and I would start to get this peripheral vision that would start to give me vertigo and make me dizzy when those big aisles were on either side of me. And I'm like, oh man, what's going on? What, I got a brain tumor, kind of like, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not a tumor. And I'm worried about what's going on with my health. Well, I did the program, I did maintenance, and then I'm like, you know what? I got this. Just go back to what I was doing before. So I started consuming a bunch of the garbage that wasn't good for me before. And guess what happened right away? Started getting the vertigo again, and realized for the first time, this pompous contractor that, hey, I'm young and healthy and I'm working out every day doing contracting, I don't need to eat super healthy. Realized quickly, having just lost my father to a brain tumor, which cancer comes from dis-ease. It comes from your body being drained and sickly, and looking at that going, wow, I'm heading down the same path he did. Maybe I should look at this a little closer. Take somebody like me who's not focused on nutrition, and in just one system, opened my eyes to how naive and dumb I was being with my own health, because I'd always been a healthy person. Not sickly, not in hospitals, didn't need to do that stuff. So Jonas, with that relationship between our body and food, and that awakening, I know you've been watching the text string as it's going through there. So I'm going to jump back to you. I know I can see right now your brain's about to explode with all the stuff you want to say. So let me go back to you, and Linda, thank you again for everything you're sharing so far. I mean, so many people have commented already on, hey, that's me. So it's that sharing that really helps everyone.
Yeah. So thank you for that, Kevin. And this is what we all want to do. And I love what somebody said. It's not about what I lost. It's about what I gained. And that was deep. Clarity, perspective. And I was like, wow, we haven't talked about what you've gained, but those are kind of the aha moments. That's, what have you gained? What is that, that I know Linda took a photo of her stretching before the, protocol, and then stretching during, or like right after the protocol, and the amount of flexibility that was there, because not all the inflammation is stopping us. This is why we do this. So I want to hit on some of the phases real quick. Phase 1, fat loading. Why do we fat load? Biohacking the body. We're going to do a lot more videos. We're rewriting the book, so that way everybody knows. There's going to be a lot more content for one-on-one, so that way your people, their people, and their people, and their people all can get the exact same training. Because this is what we want to do. We want to make this, just as easy as it can for everybody here, so that way everybody knows how to do this correctly and professionally. And with the help of Kevin, with the help of Becky, myself, John Taylor, and all our corporate staff, we're going to be able to get all these tools out to every single one of you. That way it's even more simple and more simple. Okay, that's what I say, this is the most simple protocol ever. If it's not on the list, don't eat it. But if it is on the list, you need to make sure that you're eating enough. That's what I sort of, well, maybe I can eat a little bit less. No. So on phase 1, we go eat. We biohack the body. We tell the body, we get the body afraid, going, uh-oh, Jonas doesn't know what he's doing. He's bringing in all this fat. The vibe drops, go, let's open up the fat floodgates. Get rid of some of this old fat, if you will, because he's bringing in so much. I have to trick the body. I do that for 2 days, gain those 3 to 5 pounds, bam, cut it off. Fat floodgates are open. Now we start going into phase 2. This is where we start that clean eating. This is where we start all that water. The amount of people I've seen with kidney infections in my office, dehydration in my office, uric acid levels in my office, you name it. It's like, oh my goodness, what do you do? Well, Jonas, I drink 2 pots of coffee a day. What? You drink that much coffee? Yeah. And you know, whatever I do eat, whatever I do drink, I don't feel good. I don't feel full. Like you heard Linda say, now I'm eating foods and they feel so good. When you're eating all these foods, let's just any food, and you're going, this doesn't taste good. And you go eat something else, and you go eat something else, and you drink something else, and you eat something else, and you drink something else. That means your hypothalamus is broken. We get to that in week 3. But as we go into week 1, your body's changing. We go through hell week, intestinal changes, gut changes, irritability, crankiness, headaches, everything that you don't like. I get almost every single symptom. And there's some people on this call and some people that you will bring on that go, I don't have anything. I feel fine. You know, I'm craving some foods that I miss, but I feel fine. And we go to those cravings until you hit that week 3. So I say, don't worry, everything's changing. Your body's going, wait. You just have the caffeines, the sugars, the simple carbohydrates, the refined sugars, the acidic foods, the processed foods, everything that's dying off within the gut. And it's sending a signal to the brain saying, hey, I'm dying. And it's like, no. I'm not dying. You are dying. I need to get you out of here because you are creating toxicity and a level of toxicity that is not good for my health, that can create dis-ease within the body. If y'all were here in San Antonio, you saw me talk about nutrient deficiencies within the soil, and this started in 1936. So when Linda goes, I thought I was eating enough. No, we're not. That's why we need 9 to 12 servings of fruits and veggies a day. If y'all remember the food pyramid back in the 80s and 90s, I just need 2 servings. Food today is nowhere near as nutrient rich as food was back in the 1970s. That's when the food pyramid was made. We need nutrient efficiency because almost every dis-ease is because of nutrient deficiency. Right? I brought it up. And if y'all want to look at it, write it down. Google it right now if you'd like. If you want to check my math, U.S. Senate document 264. U.S. Senate document 264 came out in 1936. What it really says is that nutrient deficient soils, because what are we eating? Like I said, we're television. We're watching the television. We're getting marketers. We're getting massive companies, corporations, telling us what we should be eating, which is from a holistic standpoint. Linda, you can agree with this. From a medical professional standpoint, if we have medical professionals and wellness professionals on here, our diet couldn't be further from the truth. We're eating fast foods, we're eating dead foods, we're eating devitalized foods, and then we're eating the empty harvest that comes out of the ground. That's not how we're expecting this body to flourish. It's not going to happen. What we need to do is get the nutrients in the body. That's why we've launched some of these other protocols into maintenance to where we can get some more nutrients in the body, which we'll be launching to everybody here in about 2 weeks. The body wants nutrients. So that U.S. Senate document 264 goes on to say nutrient deficient, and this was in 1936, almost 100 years ago. Nutrient deficient soils produce nutrient deficient plants that create nutrient deficient foods that are consumed by nutrient deficient humans that have nutrient deficient diseases. What are nutrient deficient diseases? Like Kevin just said, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, osteopenia, osteoporosis, right? All these are because we don't have any nutrients within the body. Sarcopenia, women eat enough protein, especially as we get over. Sarcopenia is the atrophy really of the muscles, or the muscles just start dying off because we're not doing any resistance training and we're not eating enough protein. So you don't have to go to the gym, do yoga. Linda, did you fall back in love with yoga?
Yes.
And you don't have to sit there and do this and do that. You don't have to be with meatheads in the gym. You don't have to be, at CrossFit gyms at all. Just do it on your own. It's about 20 or 30 minutes a day. Allow your body to push. But that's what the body is getting into because we're flushing everything out. So week 2, your body goes, I think I know what you're doing. It starts coming on. That's when you start going, oh, wow, hold on. I'm getting cheekbones again. I'm getting jaw lines. I have a neck. I'm getting my décolleté better, my chest, my shoulders, everything's starting to look good. And that's where you see everybody talking about inches, because the body's going, I don't need all of this inflammation. Then we hit week 3. That's when the hypothalamus goes, okay, I'm working again. I understand what satiation means. I understand what feeling full means. I understand what getting enough nutrients in my body means. Then we go into week 4, shrink wrap week. That's when That's when the body goes, okay, I'm done with all the inflammation. And now the fat faucet is on. When that fat faucet is on, do not let that bad boy turn off. Don't try and do anything different in week 4 that you did in week 3, 2, and 1. Just steady the course. Remember, your body is intuitively smarter than you are. Stop trying to outsmart it. We do that. Guilty. Okay. I'm not talking, when I talk to you, I talk to me. I've done that before. Oh, you know what? Let me work out maybe a little bit harder. Headache. Oh man, I shouldn't have done that. I told people I did that this last go around. Kevin, I've done this every year, at least once or twice a year, just because I like to detox. And I go to the gym because I got a new gym membership at Lifetime. Oh man, everybody's there. I'm like, oh man, I feel good. I'm sweating. I get out of there. It's like, oh, my head's pounding. I'm going, God, Jonas, you know better. But I didn't do it. So Kevin, as we go into week 4, we go into maintenance. I know that's something that we really want to talk about. How do we go into maintenance? Why do we go into maintenance? Why is maintenance the most important part of this protocol? And how do we do it correctly? So that way our body doesn't go, ha, I knew that was a joke. I'm back up to my weight.
Well, if we do maintenance correctly, we should never have to do this program ever again. Let me tell you why we do have to do the program again as we go into there. I just did a little research because I stumbled across these before, but I wanted to get updated numbers. Jonas, in 1955, the average American ate 5 pounds of sugar per year. 5 pounds per year.
And now?
Okay? That's not a lot.
No.
I mean, over a year. Now, the average American eats 154 pounds of sugar per year. And unfortunately, that's not distinguished by what type of sugar. And so when you look at 93% of commercially produced foods, especially sodas, have high fructose corn syrup, a chemical that I personally believe is the most toxic and deadly chemical approved for actual use in human consumption food, right? Not saying it's the most toxic chemical in the world of everything, but that we consume, right? It's so secretive, you can't even get a description on the process they use to make it. But if you get raw high fructose corn syrup and break it down, it has mercury in it. So that should tell you a couple things, right? So as human beings, we do maintenance for a couple of reasons. Maintenance is where we're going to lock this in. We're eating a very specific regimen of food for our 30 days. And that food is not designed to be optimal to maintain the body permanently. It's for a very targeted detox purpose, to detox the body, to get the junk out, to get that cellulite off. We're taking the whole system, all the nutrients together, and we're using the program. So when we hit maintenance, the goal of maintenance is to get your food consumption back up where it needs to be. That's first key. You cannot eat like a bird and think that that's going to be good for you. And that's what a lot of people do. That's the number one mistake people make in maintenance, is they eat too small portions like they did on the 30 days, thinking that is optimal, and it's not for life. Okay. So there's different ways to calculate, and we can talk about it, how to calculate your ideal calorie intake. So whether you're working at home on a computer all day or you're out physical labor, it's going to be a little bit different calorie consumption for you, guy, girl, body size, everything. However, let's say you need 1,500 calories, you need 2,000 calories, you need 2,500 calories, whatever it is for you, you want to look at and say, okay, what does that mean for me? It only takes you one day to look at food and say, this is how much food that is. And then you're not counting calories the rest of your life. You're not going to count calories every day. You're not going to do that. That'll drive you insane. Don't do it. That's not what this is about. But, for example, for me, I eat the protein about the size of the palm of my hand in a given meal. Okay, that's what I've determined to know what I need to do for me, for my eating. So I'm eating a fruit, a vegetable, and a protein with each meal. We're going to add the sugar, or excuse me, get ahead of myself, the fats, oils, and dairies that first 3 weeks. Now, when you guys hear what we're going to add, some people say, you know what, I don't do dairy. Well, that's fine. If you're dairy intolerant and you're never going to have dairy the rest of your life, well, you don't need to integrate that back into your life. But if you're a person that's coming on this program going, man, I feel so much better not having all that dairy, all that cheese and milk and everything else. And I agree with you. That's not a great thing to run through your system for optimal. That's putting the low grade fuel through your body. If you're eating a ton of that, it's not good on healthy on your body. But what I am saying is if that's something you want to eat, that's fine. You've got to do it in maintenance, and you got to figure out how much you can handle. You got to figure out what is too much, and your body will go up in weight. It will cross the 2 pound. For those who don't know, go read back in your book, but in maintenance, you've got 2 pounds of gain or 2 pounds of loss that you have to maintain for 6 weeks after the program's over. You have to stay in that band. We are rewriting your body's computer script, if you will, on where your weight's going to stay. And it takes 6 weeks to get that done. The first 3 weeks when you're adding food, you guys, you'll find the first 3 days, it's hard. It is hard to actually get the calories down you need, unless you're looking at actual fat calories and kind of doing like you did in loading and making things higher fat. Your body's not used to that amount. So don't kill yourself, but ease into that over the first couple of days. Your body will hit that 2 pounds and go over. Do a steak and apple day. It's a large 16-ounce steak, just big steak and an apple, and you'll drop weight right overnight. If you're a vegan, there is no magic answer. If you can eat a steak, I suggest vegans and vegetarians eat a steak. If you cannot do that or will not do that, that's fine. Do 16-ounce equivalent of protein that you would do for your vegan diet. That's the best you can do. It's not optimal for your body resetting this. We are looking for the answer that is. We have not found that magic bullet for the vegan and vegetarians, and we talk about that in the book. You still have great results. You still detox your body. You're still going to feel better. You still have the emotional transformation, and you're still going to be able to reset and maintenance. It just sometimes doesn't bring the body down as quick. So that's what we're doing, Jonas, in those first 3 weeks of maintenance is we're setting that in. And why I talked about the sugar is the second 3 weeks is when all the sugars and starches come back into our diet. And guys, gals, you can go out there and you can reacclimate your body to sodas and to cakes and to ice creams and to crave those things. And if you want to break your body faster, consume more of those toxic foods. If you want to maintain the healthy way you feel, then learn to balance out those foods and have them more like they're designed to be, which is a treat, not with every single meal, right? We don't need bread for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Those are things that are going to pack on a lot of calories in your body needlessly. The other day, I just made some food for everybody, and I chopped up an entire plate, a pan full of all kinds of vegetables and sauteed them in the pan, not in anything but MCT oil, which is available on the program. And then I threw a bunch of chicken in there, and that was the main meat dish. There was no rice, there was no fillers, there was no anything else in there. And people are like, my gosh, what is this? I'm like, it's chicken and vegetables with some salt and a little seasonings. There's nothing else in there. I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever had. And I'm like, me, because it's not deep fried. It doesn't have starches. We don't have gravy poured over the top of it. And they're like, yeah, this is just phenomenal. So somebody said on the group the other day, Jonas, season your food with your food. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting concept, right? Season your food with your food. So that's that maintenance, guys, is what you're going to set this in for and long term as you go through. So Jonas, I get off on these rants. You got to stop me sometimes. But a couple of people that were in the chat windows there were talking about that, and we're sharing their results. Congratulations, by the way, guys. We've been looking at that chat window, been looking at those answers. Everybody on this call has a chance to look at those, even though we can't call everybody out and draw attention to every single person that chatted in here. Thank you so much for contributing to this call, because you've helped a lot of people on this call and being a part of the call by actually participating in that chat window. Super critical, super important. Appreciate that. So,
and what did you say about mercury again? I think
so. When I did a study on high fructose corn syrup, what I found out is it's kind of like diamonds, where that De Beers company kind of controls the world's supply of diamonds. High fructose corn syrup, the government has pumped $52 billion into subsidies for growing corn because they got sold on the bill of alternate fuel for vehicles. Mm-hmm. We don't need corn for that. So what's happened is that corn is being used to create high fructose corn syrup. There's one company that does that. They do it behind locked doors. They do not publish the process. The scientist that was trying to do the study could not get her hands on a raw sample of high fructose corn syrup until she started a fake nutrition company, food company, and wrote them and said, I want to actually create recipes, but I need to use your high fructose corn syrup and I need samples. They sent her a 55-gallon drum. She put it through a spectrometer, and one of the things that popped up in there, amongst other things, was mercury. And we don't know how they make this. We don't know how it's processed. If somebody on the call knows how they make it, send it to me. I'd love to know how high fructose corn syrup is made, but it's made virtually free, and it's sold to food producers for nothing, basically. And so when you go into the grocery store and you see Pepsi Cola has a 12-pack with all kinds of advertising over it because it has real toxic sugar instead of the fake toxic sugar, and that's a selling point, you know that we've reached a new low in our society in food. And this is coming from a guy who loves food. I live so that I can eat. I do not eat so that I can live. I love food that much. I am a food person. And so I love those things. I'm not talking to you from a purist perspective of, you know, my body's a temple, which it is, but I will abuse my body for my taste buds pleasure. And that's my fault. You know, I've got to work on that. But Linda, when you went through maintenance, and we'll kick back up to Jonas here. When you went through maintenance, what did you learn? I mean, have you done other programs in the past? I don't know your story exactly, but have you done other programs in the past? And what are you noticing different this time from any, because you said you hadn't been able to get back to this size in a very long time. So what do you notice is different?
Well, I'm just more aware of, my motto has always been, I count chemicals, not calories. So that as a health coach, that's what I've trained my clients to do. So this has been a very, it has just brought a lot of awareness to me. So in maintenance, I think it's just more, I'm just more aware of getting my fruits and vegetables in, especially fruits, because I would put a couple of berries on my oatmeal if I ate oatmeal, or put some in my smoothie if I made a smoothie. But now I'm like, okay, I wasn't, eating enough fruits for sure. And what I did prior is basically plant-based. And then Jonas got a hold of me and shook me up because he's like, you need protein in your body. And so all I can say is that's how I've coached my clients, more plant-based and, count chemicals, not calories. I didn't have a certain protocol. I feel like this program has really opened my eyes to how something that's simple, challenging, but it's doable, but you just got to follow it. And I know there's lots of questions, even as a health coach, I'm like, but what about, and I'm like, nope, you know what, Linda? Somebody put all their thought process in here. They've already done their experiments. They've already done what's necessary. This is a proven system. Just follow it. And yes, I think acknowledging too with my clients, instead of trying to ease their pain, I'm like, I know what you're going through. I understand this is challenging, but it's doable. You can do it. So I don't know if I answered your question, but.
Yeah, would you rather challenge yourself now while you can, or have the pharmaceutical challenge your health later?
Yeah, no, absolutely. With that visceral fat that I didn't know I had. And, my husband would kindly would say things, when we would be in the kitchen, and Jonas knows my husband. So he would say, well, you're eating healthy and you still have a belly. And I'd be like, oh, no, he did not just tell me that. So, and then Jonas comes and tells me I had visceral fat. I'm like, I came home and I told my husband I had visceral fat. He's like, I knew you had something. So that right there, knowing that I can get my clients to get rid of anywhere from 4 so far, 7 has been the most visceral fat that one of my clients has lost in like 2.5 weeks. That is crazy. Now, I will say she overdid it on the Vibe. She ran out of Vibe like in 2 weeks. So I think that's what happened. That's why she lost 7 pounds of fat like in 2.5 weeks. And her practitioner was just amazed at her results. Like she could not believe she was looking at her chart because she had done labs on her. So in such a short amount of time, this is the program that I'm putting all my clients on. Not all of them are willing, right? Some of them are just not willing. They're not ready. But 7 months to lose 7 pounds of fat, 5 weeks, 7 pounds of fat. Yeah, I'm going to do the 5-week one.
We can pay the farmer or pay the pharmacy. Which one is it? And so, and like Linda shared, I'm not here to tell you how to eat. That I think that's 1000% up to you. But what I want you to do, and this is, saying, oh, well, Jonas, I do the Mediterranean diet. I do macros. I'm a carnivore diet. I'm on a vegan diet. I'm on a vegetarian diet. I don't care what you eat, as long as you understand what your body really wants. So I love the quote. It says, do not let your ideology ruin your biology. Understand your body, understand your strong organs, understand your weak organs, understand we die because of our weakest organs. Understand the eliminative organs, right? Do we know where our gallbladder is, our liver is, our pancreas, our kidneys? Do we know where the ileum, the jejunum, the duodenum are? Do we know about our body? I ask you to point to those in your body, and you go, well, I don't know that. And I say, where's the carburetor in your car? You go, yeah, it's right there. And I go, oh, hold on, you know about this car, but you don't know about your own vehicle, about your own temple. This is where we have to change who we are and what we're doing. That's why when it comes to Prime My Body, what is our vision statement? We want to celebrate and empower a global family in health. It's not just about weight loss. It's about health, prosperity, and freedom for all. So, right, we're focusing on overall health. That's where hemp came in. This is where the 180 comes in. This is where maintenance comes in. This is where, when we relaunch Core, when we relaunch Knox, everything that we're doing that we're going to be, launching between now and Austin, Texas, we have a lot more to do. We want to keep you healthy year round. We want to have that community that we can stay healthy year round. It's not about losing weight forever. I hated those weight loss companies. I'm like, okay, after somebody loses weight, then what? You want them on shakes for the rest of their life? No, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to eat real food. And when we unbreak the body, we can give the body real food again. And we can dabble here, dabble there, but it's not about dabbling every day, 3 times a day, like Kevin just said. Let's figure out what it is that we're doing. And getting back to the high fructose corn syrup, I showed this, and if y'all look at it, it's almost to the month that when high fructose corn syrup became legal, the diabetic epidemic started. Almost to the month. Go research it. I'll give you things so you don't say, well, Jonah said, no, go on Google. Go look at it. Go look it up. Understand what we're doing to our body. Understand what the big marketers aren't telling you.
Yep.
Because that's what's happening. They're just not telling you. Like Kevin just said, you can't go back there and figure out what it's made of. They're not telling you. So what is it that they're doing? And why are they doing that? And when somebody eats corn in front of me, I say, you know who eats corn, right? We feed pigs and deer corn so we can kill them and eat them. Think about that. We get them fat. We understand that. You don't understand that? Well, Jonas, but I love my popcorn. Yeah, I can tell. Just throwing it out there, Kevin, Linda, just, hey.
But my wife looks at me, she's like, you're hopeless. She said it to me the other night. I'm like, I just made a really healthy meal. And she's like, yeah, but you do other unhealthy things. Jonas, what you're talking about with the high fructose corn syrup, another fact with that, you eat it, within 30 minutes, your body spikes, crashes, and demands more food. That's why food consumers are gone or switching to high fructose corn syrup, is because they sell billions of dollars of more food because we have to keep consuming. If you doubt this, and if you're sugar sensitive, go make a 32-ounce fruit smoothie made of nothing but actual fruit with nothing else added. Eat nothing. That is huge sugar right there. Eat that, and your body won't crash unless you're hypoglycemic or diabetic. Your body won't crash for hours. But then go and get a fruit smoothie like that from a popular smoothie place where they put sugars and things in it, and watch the crash. That's what's happening with us. With the 180 system, we're taking all that out for 30 days. Our body's getting a break. It's actually getting its footing in this torrent river that it's in. And once we get that footing and we go back into maintenance and we start to eat some of those things and we feel those things banging against us, that's when a wake-up call goes off and we say, you know what? I'm not ruining my 180 turnaround. I'm going to stay turned around. And that's where a stubborn guy like me gets turned around, Jonas, in this. And if you can turn my thinking around with food and nutrition, imagine what you do to somebody who actually cares about food and nutrition more than I did, right? Like you and Linda here and other people on this call. So I love the content here. Sorry, I hijacked your conversation again. I'm going to go back to you, but this is cool stuff. This is great stuff. People on this call are responding and they're learning. And this is that light bulb that's going on. And we're going to change this company, Prime My Body. I can't wait for Core, by the way, to come back out. I'm so excited on pins and needles for that one. But this company, Prime My Body, is going to change the entire way the United States thinks about food, nutrition, and their bodies. This company is going to do it. We're already launching in other nations. People are going to start following us because they cannot stay silent when they see the changes happen. They cannot stop from talking and sharing. The 180 is only a match tip. Prime My Body is a wellness company, not a weight loss company. We are a whole wellness center. And that's what I'm excited about. I see your passion when you get excited, Jonas, about the body and how it all works. And it's like, this is awesome. The people here are awesome. So I am now going to shut up. I'll even mute myself.
And Kevin, there was a question asked in the Q&A section.
Which one?
About how many days does a menstruating woman need to be back on the Vibe drops before officially stopping them for the 3-day prep for going into maintenance?
Awesome question. So yeah, you have your cycle right at the end of the set of the program. It's going into that day 30. You want to get back on for a minimum of 3. Ideally, it would be 4 days on the system. And that's really what that is to do, is to take the imbalance that happens during that cycle. Imbalance is not the right word, but there's just a lot of stuff going on in the body, to balance that back out so that the body can actually take a hold of maintenance and it's not confused as to what's going on. So 4 days is ideal. 3 would be pushing it if you had events coming up that you had to get done for. So that's a good one. Jonas, did you answer the other question on there about diabetics?
Yes. Yeah. People asking about diabetics, guys, we have them in my office. Again, the safe answers. Talk to their doctor and say, hey, they're going to go and eat real foods. Just say, hey, doc, I'm going to go eat real foods. But what I've seen for my diabetic patients, especially type 1, both type 1, type 2, but type 1, like normally they have their own pumps or they're taking insulin. Just be careful. But again, get their doctor's permission, because their insulin, they're going to go, Jonas, I hear this all the time. Yeah, my pump, it's automatic and it's not taking near as much insulin. This is one of the coolest things.
Yeah, I'm not, no health claims, but yes, we have coached thousands of diabetics through this, both insulin dependent and medication dependent. Most medication people end up having their doctor pull them off. So if you are on insulin, either pills or on actual insulin, be ready to go see your doctor through the program, because your body will start to balance and regulate. And now all of a sudden what you're taking is taking your sugars way too low. And so you need to have your doctor make those adjustments, not yourself. The second thing, Jonas, I'm sorry, I keep jumping in here, but this is really important information. If you take this 180 to a doctor and ask them if you can do it, and the doctor says yes, they're liable. And so that's why they won't answer yes. So what I ask people to ask their doctors is, am I healthy enough to do this? You're not asking if they agree. They might tell you, I think this is the stupidest thing you could ever do. Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion. But am I healthy enough?
Wow.
I just want to know, am I healthy enough? And that gives them no responsibility on you doing the system. So they're okay to answer that question. And you're asking their opinion, and they're the only ones who can give it to you. So that's the question that you give people if they say, hey, is this safe to do with? As a Prime My Body person, do not answer that if you're not a doctor and you're not seeing them. Just tell them, go ask your doctor, am I healthy enough? And that solves that whole problem. So,
and then yes, you can take the drops on light days. We just stop on the heavy days. Okay, so a little bit, if you're spotting before, spotting after, you can take it. Just those heavy flows, we want to make sure that we're off. We just say, really get off, because you're, like Kevin said, your hormones are going to hang on to everything. You're not going to lose. You're probably not going to lose. Let's put it that way. Just your body's going to go through a lot of changes, and that's what happens during the cycle, because the body's checking on everything. So, but if you're spotting before, after, if it's light days, yeah, you can still take the protocol or still take the vibes. So, Linda, give me 60 seconds. End on anything you want. Kind of what's that tidbit you want to give to everybody on here tonight?
Trust the process and be true to yourself, because when nobody's watching, that's when it's the most important time for you to be truthful.
Authentic, huh? Integrity, doing the right thing when people aren't watching. Because guess what? Everybody's always watching. Everybody is watching. They're watching what you do, what you say. So that is 1000% integrity. I believe in that. And congruency, right? I didn't have to do the protocol with every single one of y'all, but I didn't want to be eating a triple cheeseburger here telling y'all how to eat. I wanted to do it with you. I wanted to have fun with y'all, so that way we can be congruent. So thank y'all so much. We will have a Prime My Body overview here in 10 minutes. If you're saying, hey, you know what? I want to turn my progress and into monetary gain. That's what we're going to talk about here in about 10 minutes. So we'll talk about that. Thank you, Kevin, as always. And guys, we're going to be doing some new stuff here in the coming weeks with Kevin and Becky. Linda, awesome content. Thank you so much for being on here. Looking amazing. And I know you're helping so many people right now. So proud of what you're doing in your business right now. Congratulations. Keep it going. Y'all, we're here. Hit our Facebook page if y'all have any questions, and thank y'all community for answering everybody in the Facebook page. That's helped me a lot because I'm busy as all get out as well. And so thank y'all so much. And it's people helping people. And that's what we do as a community, because again, we celebrate and empower a global family together. Thank y'all so much. And y'all have a good evening. And we'll see you here in 10 minutes. Bye-bye.